escaped prison by climbing up a wall.
Steiny has officially lost his man card.
People like what? Did like the Blood Sisters with at like Beyonce concerts or something.
What's up, guys? Welcome to This Reality on
Mixed Realities.
That was a pretty poor opening, but who cares? We were before starting, we were dictating who was going to do it. She didn't want to do it this time, so last minute call of me doing it. A lot of stuff has happened since the last time we did a podcast.
Both, only
not really much in our
days.
lives. Not much in our life, but in the headlines.
Yeah.
Some stuff that I've been attached to the screen for better and worse, just kind of politics. I guess not politics, just escaped convicts. We'll get into that stuff.
First of all, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
Yeah, what's up with them?
I don't think all the stuff that I read, nobody has taken their side.
No,
right in the letter.
They came out with an apology about it.
And yeah, I just saw that. You just told me
But
that
I think we should preface about, because some people might be watching like, what the heck about Ashton Kutcher? That guy from That 70s Show, the one with the curly hair, the afro, is sentenced to 30 years in prison for raping 3 women, I think it is, 10 years ago. I have not been following this case at all. I heard about it like months and months ago, and then I just saw this headline that he was finally sentenced. And then that's where Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis send a letter to the judge.
Yeah.
Telling him how he's such a good person and whatnot, I guess.
And to go, like,
I want to say go.
give him some grace.
Yeah,
I don't know. Or
I
just
don't
showing
know.
them that he's an outstanding human being. Even though Ashton does all that stuff with, I want to say, doesn't he have groups for trafficking people?
I think he has a human trafficking group.
Yeah.
That's funny. You say that.
But, I mean, I kind of think there's a reason that he got sentenced to 30 years. It can't be that he actually didn't do any of the stuff if he got sentenced to 30 years. I feel like it was a lack of judgment and character for them to do that.
Yeah, and it happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so for something that happened 10 years ago and then to get this type of charge, someone actually, maybe this is, comment below any information you have about this case. Because honestly, I don't feel like doing research on this case.
I feel like it'll just make me mad.
Yeah, so if you know the whole story of why he got sentenced for so long, in
I'm gonna look
something
it
that
up.
happened 10 years ago, comment below the stuff. The next thing is, like we already talked, is the escaped convict. I've been...
He's now with a weapon.
Yeah, he has a
weapon
rifle
now.
with a flashlight now. If you watch Prison Break, this just reminds me of Prison Break, and it reminds me of Teabag. One of the guys who murdered, I think he murdered someone, and then got. If you haven't seen Prison Break, but it reminds me of Prison Break, the show, and it just how they were so confident. The police, they're like, he's in this area. We're gonna shrink the area, contract it, bleed him of all his supplies.
Yeah.
2 days later, or a day later. Oh yeah, he's outside of this area now. Now he could be anywhere, but they just had a sighting of him on someone's property. But have you seen the video of him getting out in the first place? Like how?
That was a good video. Him just, what is it called when you do that? I don't know, but he had his hands and feet on each wall in the hallway, climbing up like that, which is impressive.
Very
I've done
impressive.
that before.
Me too,
when
as
I
a
was
kid.
young.
Between like tree branches and stuff like that.
Yeah, and in my hallway. But to escape prison by climbing up a wall like a child is bizarre.
Yeah, I guess he's like 5'5",
And
5'6".
And a guy did it 5 weeks or a couple 5
Yeah.
months before him.
Yeah, so
but then he got caught.
The prison already knew about this little. I guess all they put was more barbed wire over there, but I guess he.
Yeah. I
I wish there was more video of the escape. Like, I want to see what happened, because it's really ballsy to escape like that. Like, he was in the courtyard. This is like a full. It's not like he was out doing community, like how they put prison people sometimes on the side of the road picking up trash.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't like one of those where then he books it off front. No, he was in the yard and then looked up there, probably heard that someone did this weeks earlier.
Yeah.
They fixed it and then did the same exact thing. And then the guard who was in the tower for somehow doesn't see him. That's going to lead some conspiracies right there.
Somehow doesn't see him.
Actually, this isn't on the things of the cover, but there has been new revelations of the JFK assassination. One of the Secret Service guys have come forward of JFK during that time.
I missed that.
I guess he was. I don't know too much about it, but I guess he confirmed that the magic bullet theory is not true. He apparently found the bullet himself or something like that, and then put it. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much because I don't know the details, but more information on that has come forward. Maybe I need to do more research on it. I just want something to come out where it was at this point, it's just all just confirming what I already knew.
Yeah.
Holy crap! It just got dark outside. It must be about to be storming.
It's gonna storm again.
And then we had something sad happen over the weekend. Izzy lost.
Oh. That fight was had me on my toes because I didn't know who I wanted to win.
You were sleeping part of it though.
Okay. And before the fight, we watched. What podcast did we watch?
Oh, the Full Send podcast.
The Full Send podcast.
Sean was just ripping them
Oh
apart.
my gosh.
Especially
Go
Steiny.
watch that podcast if you haven't seen it. Sean,
Steiny,
what is his name? Strickland?
Sean and Steiny was the one. Steiny has officially lost his man card. On that podcast, Sean took Steiny's man card away from him, ripped it up, and threw it right at him. He literally went into him. I guess Steiny's probably my age. I'm 27. I think he's 29 or maybe. Either way, he's within my rate. And he was just bashing, because he dresses, skinny jeans, it's kind of a skater vibe. He was bashing what he was wearing. He was bashing it, saying he was some type of weasel. Oh my God. Go watch that podcast. And then he goes out and beats, because I think they low-key did not think he was going to win that fight either. And so they were probably oh, he's saying all these things,
I thought he was going to win.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. He was so aggressive on that podcast. He frightened me on that podcast. He literally was like, if you walked up to my girlfriend and said something bad about her, I have to put your lights out. I have to try to kill you.
Yeah, he did say something like that. But I feel like that's all a true man thinks that. If someone...
Is it? If somebody insulted me, would you try to kill them?
I would definitely push them and I wouldn't allow that to happen.
The murder.
The murdering is not the first thing that comes into my mind, but I will retaliate either by pushing, fighting, something like that, depending on the insult and depending who it is. If it's some homeless person, I'm okay, I'm not gonna stomp out this homeless person. But if it's in a club, granted we have no clubs around us anymore, but at a bar, then yeah, you have to say something. But he literally told Steiner, you look like someone that your wife would get effed by someone and then you just do nothing about it. And then if a man tells you that to your face, that man does not give a crap about you. He knows Steiny's not going to get up and punch him,
I feel I don't know, because it was nice that he could just sit down and just talk crap into someone's face and that person take it very well. Because you also have to take that stuff very well. So Steiny did a good job doing that. But
he did. I actually give him credit. Good job.
He did a great job doing that. But Sean's personality is huge. That was the first time I've ever seen him sit down and talk or watch a podcast.
Okay,
that's why I was freaking out. I was I can't believe he's saying these things to someone in the face.
So I've been actually a fan of Sean for probably about a year now. So I've just been kind of eating up, because he says he's most
bizarre.
BS stuff.
It's mean
all the time. But the weird thing is, the reason why I found out about him is because he's actually either managed by the same people as Izzy or used to be, because Izzy's manager has just broken off from his management company and created his own, but they're still partnered on the marketing side. Don't ask how I know this. But Izzy and Sean used to have the same manager, or be on the same management company. But I think there might be something against that. I'm not sure about like two fighters fighting. Or
he was just, I don't know. Go watch that podcast and see for yourself. But if somebody talked to me like that, fighter or not, I might have to get my ass beat.
Sean's talk.
I would not take that. That's just me.
I mean, honestly, before
That's
that
just
fight,
me.
if Sean was talking bad about you in front of me, I would have probably done something. But
I
after
wouldn't-
seeing him whip Izzy, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take this L and whoop.
Well, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like, would you have done something? I probably wouldn't sit there and take it.
You see the lights flickering?
Yeah.
We might be losing
We
power.
might lose
soon.
power. We might need to charge our phones before. We need a new generator.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know if I could sit there and sit in front of someone who's talking to me like that. Same thing with, what's it called, when he was on who was on Flagrant? No. What?
Oh, Andrew was on.
Andrew was
Full
on
Send, and
Full
then
Send.
started that
And
started.
so diss him, and it's like,
I feel
people
like that's
just diss him.
I feel like that started a wave of dissing of him.
Hey, it's
now.
like, come on, I wouldn't do it. He obviously does it for the views.
So
There's no way you're gonna tell me he doesn't do it for the views. He knows it's
Steiny?
good content. Yeah.
no,
How are you
no,
gonna sit there and like?
I know he even says.
"Oh,
When,
do it for
okay, so
content."
when Andrew was on the podcast, even Steve was on there, kind of saying the same thing. Like Steiny does act a little different on camera than off camera. I mean, like everyone has like
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I feel like we're probably act pretty much the same because we're not doing prank videos and what like that. But,
Yeah.
And then they have Folsom has like this stigma of like college party almost. It kind of like that's their atmosphere, frat boy college party. And so they have to kind of everyone they bring on in their world has to have kind of more of that like party feel. And Steiny probably doesn't have that feel unless he puts on that character. He's probably more of a laid back, chill guy.
Who knows, Steiny? You want to meet?
But
I want to meet him in person.
no, Andrew Schultz, he ripped Shiny.
I know.
Steiny that one time by saying like he gets the tens because he's famous. Like you wouldn't be essentially told him you wouldn't be getting girls unless if you're somewhat famous.
Exactly.
This is my open
And
up.
but also like I don't know. He also takes it very well and allows the other person allows the other person to keep talking crap about him. Because it's not like you're allowing that to happen. It's not
I mean,
like
let's be honest.
It's
I
like
don't know how
that's
tall
like
Steiny is.
30 minutes of just shit talking Steiny.
I mean, Steiny is.
But
a
he
small
sucks
person.
sometimes. I'm not gonna say
his character sucks, and I think that's the point of his character. His character is supposed to be a douche. It's kind of he's like the Quagmire of.
Yeah.
And he's like the douche, like the perverted person that just is always trying to get girls, like Quagmire. He's the Quagmire of Full Send. Maybe a little less funny, but
I don't hate him as much as Sean does.
I don't hate him. Like everyone has their role, and you know every movie, every TV show, there's that character.
It's good content.
The heel.
Like.
There's always the heel. Steiny is the heel of Full Send, and I applaud him for being where he's at, because you got to think like he.
Oh yeah.
In a matter of a year or two, has gone from nobody to someone. So you cannot.
I mean,
doing
they're
something
not. They're not dissing his accomplishments. They're just dissing who he is.
Yeah.
And sometimes that doesn't go hand in hand. I feel like there's a lot of unpersonable people that are famous.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Next topic. Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner are now dating. Thoughts?
if she's happy, she deserves to be happy. Because I feel like, I don't know, everyone thinks it's like a PR stunt, but if it is, big whoop. Everyone always does PR stunts. But if she's happy, I go for it. She has kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she does have
She has
kids.
she has two young children, so if she's doing that in public, I feel like she knows she's going to get a bunch of backlash.
So this
regardless.
This is my stance on it. I have no problem with it, but for a career move for Timothy in acting, so this is what I saw a podcast with Denzel Washington said this, and Ashton Kutcher said this is what advice that Ryan Gosling said. He's like, your personal life, whether you like it or not, if it's open and public, is going to leach into the characters you play. So now every time I'm going to see a movie with Timothy, I'm going to lose that connection to his character because I feel like I'm going to see that, the Kardashian bull BS is going to pop in my head. So I don't care about it, but as a career choice, if they're truly happy, I feel like this is good because if they're truly happy, they might not have not done this if it's just a PR stunt because this is not a good PR stunt for an acting career because if you date any Kardashian, you are dating a Kardashian. It's not the other way around,
Yeah.
The Kardashians aren't dating you. Now you're being brought into their world, and now you're a character of their world. And I feel like that could hurt an actor's career in the sense of movies. But if they're truly happy, go for it. Like I hate people. I hate people who that hate on celebrities that are like torn, like crying in the comments, like ew. They don't look great together. Like,
it's affecting me so much.
Like, don't go. Like, I feel like you can't gossip about. I guess we're technically gossiping about it, but hating on people dating each other, I don't hate on it. I just feel like for career choice, it's probably not the best, but
yeah,
to each is their own. That's all I had to say about
they're kind of cute. We'll see if they'll last.
So
everyone's hating on her for being, she looks like his mom.
I just don't think Kylie Jenner's. I feel like she's fake attractive. Like she's like plastic attractive. I guess that's a thing now that people are getting so much plastic. They look plastic. Like, I just don't like that plastic attractive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I feel like you're saying people that you can obviously see they have work done.
Yeah, if you have,
and I mean, they just look like every other person that has dark hair, Botox, big lips. Like,
well, they started that kind of trend.
I know they are the trend,
but
that's what you're talking about.
I don't like that look. I'm not a big fan of those like that fake.
To each their own.
Yeah, but I do respect their hustle, their grind. Like. There's something you can hate on them all you want, but they are worth a lot of money. So take notes from it. Like you can't, if you're hating on them, you're probably at home not making any money and not where they're at, and maybe probably not as happy as them either. So that's why I try this not differently.
I think people being obsessed with celebrities is so freaking weird.
That's what I was trying to get
at. It gives me weird vibes when someone's like obsessed with the celebrity. I don't think I could be friends with them because that means like you're obsessing over another human being, and I find that I just never had that like fascination with people. So I don't know. I feel like that fascination with other people is just so weird.
Yeah.
Like how could you? Some people have like that Beyonce movement. Don't get me wrong, I love Beyonce. She's a queen, but like how
the Beehive?
The movie the show
that
they put out.
What's that show called? The one with the murderer?
Yeah. Because stuff like that was happening. People like did like the Blood Sisters at like Beyonce concerts or something. I don't know. Her fans are crazy, basically. I'm totally wrong. Don't quote me on this, but her fans are crazy. That's what that show is about. Beyonce's fans.
Yeah, I know that.
So it's just weird being obsessed, like Taylor Swift tickets. People that go to her concert have to be obsessed with her. Her tickets are as expensive as freaking crazy.
Yeah,
the most
apparently she made like hundreds of millions of dollars off that.
I would probably be festivals, spending money on people. I don't know if I could hit $2-3 grand to see one person. I don't know if I could do it.
That's so true because
some people do that with Taylor Swift easy. They're like, oh, she's my favorite person in the world. $3 grand.
I guess that's
easy.
what makes festivals so great because you pay $300-400, but you see hundreds of people.
Yeah, and you're there for like 3 days or something.
Yeah, but then you pay $150 for one person.
Can't have more.
I've only been to
$400 tickets for one person for an hour. I can't do it.
I've never been to any really just I've been to Red Hot Chili Peppers, but besides that, I haven't really been to any just single artist concerts. It's just festivals. Festivals. Huh. Good point.
Have you ever gotten arrested?
What is that random?
Oh, I forgot you haven't. No. I was just wondering.
I have, but why did you randomly bring
I mean...
I've been arrested in high school, remember?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Wait, why'd you bring that up?
I was just wondering.
Have you been arrested?
I can't say random things when I want. It's my podcast. No, I haven't. Knock on wood. I have not. I almost did.
I've been technically arrested once. DUI in high school. There you go.
Oh my goodness. I got drugged once.
This is why you brought that up.
So
you thought I was gonna say I technically didn't get arrested from that story you're talking about. So I'm not gonna tell that story now. I'm gonna tell it on a different podcast where maybe we have a little more following because I'm wasting that story. That story is like a good story.
We have not been arrested. End of story.
I've been arrested once in high school for a DUI. I was maybe just turned 18.
As a child.
And yeah, I was coming home, and the cop pulled me over because he heard my car. Technically, I probably could have got out of it. Wasn't swerving, wasn't doing anything. Cop heard my car because I had exhaust on it. And he pulled me over because he thought I was speeding. Didn't clock me. And then he said, "Oh, my window tint was too dark," which it was. And then I had tinted taillights, which those are in the state of Florida. You can only get tickets for those if they're the second offense. Like you can't. So a cop can't pull you over for 2 tinted windows or tinted taillights. So he kind of made that BS. And then of course I was drinking, had fake ID on me. It had a handle of alcohol that I forgot was back there because I went to a concert the night, like 2 weekends before that. So I had that in there, forgot it was back there. So he hit me with open fake felony for fake ID, open container, DUI, and reckless driving, which all of them got dismissed besides reckless driving. So, yeah.
So what do you think about or do you think there is a bodybuilding, like...
Where is this question going?
Like, phenomenon on social media? Like, do you think there's a craze? Do you
How do
follow
you go from this?
workouts?
We were just talking about me getting arrested to bodybuilding. Okay, so you think there's like are people actually bodybuilding now, or are they just trying to look like bodybuilders? Is that what you're trying to get at? Because I feel like I see a lot. I
feel like there's a craze for people to go into lifting heavy weights. So let's not name it a certain type of workout.
A bug just flew out of my drink. Okay.
Ew.
You go.
But go. What kind of bug was it?
It was a gnat or something.
Yeah. But let's not even call it bodybuilding. Some people will miscategorize. But do you think there's a craze of people pushing other people to lift heavy weights on social media to get a big butt or to look like a certain man? Or maybe you don't, because I follow more fitness on my feed. Like, it's what shows up for me. So you probably have no opinion, but I don't know. Do you?
I think just naturally with social media, I feel like there's always people who are purposely, I don't want to say purposely making other people jealous, but people are always going to get jealous of like people who are, most of them are on steroids, who are extra jacked and big. And I feel like just social media in general does that. I wouldn't say naturally, but social media does that, like where it forces people to want to work out for better or worse. And I feel like I said, I think a lot of them are on steroids. The jack guys who are like muscles this big, of course they're on steroids. Me personally, I get bored from lifting weights, so like that's why I run and whatnot. I like doing exercise like that. So being a bodybuilder has no interest to me because I cannot sit in the gym for hours lifting weights. Like it just gets so boring for me so quick. I have to be like running around looking at things.
You know, it's funny. I just feel like my stage of bodybuilding just got addicting. It's definitely an addictive type of feeling to be lifting all the time.
Did you ever compete or want to compete?
No, I wanted to compete probably like when I was in my leanest stage. because people always ask me if I could compete, and I was like, damn, because I never had the confidence or really knew what I looked like.
Yeah, because there's like a whole thing of like this flexing, like
yeah, and
techniques.
I never, my boss at the time for training, he was like, you should compete, and we were gonna put that in like a plan for like the following year, but then I just got out of it because I have such an addictive personality that I was already addicted. I was working out 2 times a day, and I was doing an hour of cardio, so I had 3 sessions every single day when I was like in my leanest stage. And like some people don't think, I don't know, in my eyes at that time it was no big deal just doing what I love, but after you get out of it you're like, damn, that is pretty addicting. And I was counting macros then, so I feel like there's a
I think
I don't know. I had my stage really early, which I'm grateful for, because people that have their stage...
I feel like it's not a bad thing because it promotes people being healthy. I think that sometimes it's just... You see these people who are so jacked on social media and you think it's just because they're eating the chicken and the dieting. When they're really, they're doing those dieting things, but once a week or twice a week they're shooting up some testosterone. And Alex Hormozy, the marketing guy, I think I mentioned in the past podcast, he's open about taking testosterone. Joe Rogan's
I almost did once.
Ew.
I mean, not testosterone. I almost took steroids once.
Yeah, but what was I saying? Joe Rogan. I feel like if you're in that space, if you make money off of workouts and like make money off of nutrition and you're taking steroids, I feel like you're kind of faking it. Like I feel like if you're, because it's like, okay,
I feel like the only I've gotten,
unless if you're old and need like testosterone boosters, but like if you're fucking 20 years old, 30 years old on testosterone boosters and you're selling workout plans, like your clients aren't going to get that jacked because from all your
I'm pretty blessed to be at where I am now with like fitness and nutrition and my outlook on moving your body, because like I feel like I had that stage of bodybuilding, and then it was not, after I got out of the stage of working out 3 times a day, I was like my head space was so messed up. I was always like, wasn't good enough, or dang, because I didn't want to work out 4 hours a day, I felt like my worth and like myself.
You know, there's people that been there. Everyone, especially you, probably know people who are in the gym for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like,
easy.
I cannot do that. It just gets boring.
I mean, my sessions were. I'd be in the gym for like an hour and a half, do it again in the evening, and then do an hour of cardio on a machine for an hour. But I feel like tracking macros was just, I don't know.
You get a punching bag, like a kicking bag. Working out with like boxing and whatnot, that stuff's fun to me. Like, Like I did MMA for a little bit in my senior year in college, and those workouts were the most fun. And it's also, if you have a good gym, very like team building oriented, because like you're both like, when you spar, you're like trying to go hard, but you're not like going hard. You're kind of, and the guy, they always like partnered me with nice people or something, because everyone was so like nice to me when I was in the MMA gym. They're like always like, oh yeah, man, you got to do this. You got to move your arm like this. Don't move it like this, or you're gonna pop your elbow out. I'm like, or especially with kicking, I went in there. I kicked really hard because I played soccer, and everyone was impressed by my kicks. But like, there's like techniques of just kicking where you need to like, when you're swinging your leg, you want to move your leg like a little bit, or you might tear your ACL, because you know, if you go like this and move around, like this leg is technically staying still, but the force of your movement's going this way, so you need to actually move your leg a little bit while you're kicking your plant leg, or you're gonna hurt your knee. Little things like that. But working out in general, I feel like it's all about finding out what makes you like happy and passionate about. Like, I feel, you know, some people are great at running. That's how they get the exercise, while other people can stay in the gym for 2 hours. But what have you been doing lately? We've been running a lot.
Yeah.
But you've been working out on your own a little bit, I think, right?
What?
You've been working out on your own.
Yeah, I've been trying to, just like I was saying, but I was just at a stage, I'm on a stage now that working out isn't like an addictive type of thing. Because I feel like some people are in an addictive state of working out without them knowing, and some people have a healthy relationship with it. But like, just my experience, now I'm doing running a lot because it feels good. It makes me feel good. And it's about, like, my performance, not, like, me trying to lose weight or get bigger glutes. And that's why I keep diving into kettlebell work, because kettlebells are easy, they're convenient, you can do them at home, and there's always movement to be done.
You've got me on those kettlebell workouts, I like them.
There's always movements to be done. Mobility, strength, stretching.
You can do everything with them.
You can do so many things with them, so that's why I've been diving into that, and it feels good because it releases the pressure. I was in a state of, like, wanting bigger glutes or wanting bigger shoulders for, like, 3 years, and, like, getting so lean and getting so ripped, and then now I look back at pictures and it's like, whoa, didn't even realize I was there when I was there. So just, like, letting go of all the expectations and all the things that you want from fitness, but, like, not like everything you want from fitness, but, like, just letting go of every expectation and what you want to look like and just doing it for performance and how it makes you feel is where I'm at right now. And it's been pretty freaking good. It takes a long time to get here. And I've seen people, like, put their perspective online and stuff. It takes a long time when you start early and you're kind of just going in the grooves of it and not knowing that it's messing with you. Counting my macros messed with my food so bad. And I was eating so much when I was so lean. So then having that reverse when you're kind of just off a diet and letting it flow.
So when you were lean, or you were just probably eating high protein? Like,
yeah, but I was eating a lot. I was working out 3 times a day, so I could afford to eat that much. But now when you work out 45 minutes and then do a run, it's different and your food's different. But now I'm in a healthy relationship with it, basically, so...
Yeah, I mean,
loving it.
Doing this 3 months to life challenge has helped a lot. And one of the rules of us was taking out processed sugar out of our diet. And I feel like, I think we mentioned this on the last podcast.
Sugar sucks.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, I think we mentioned it in the last podcast, but we not broke it, but we used our one cheat meal, and I felt like I was hungover the next day after going to the movies and eating candy and popcorn for our cheat meal.
People don't want to be shamed, but I'm like, if you're fueling your body with so much processed sugar and your kid's body with so much processed sugar, you are doomed. There's no reason for you to be doing that.
My brain was in a fog. I mean, it partially was probably because my body probably took out all the sugar and wasn't used to eating it. But, like, imagine someone who eats, like, drinks a bunch of sugar, like, drinks Coke for all their meals a day. You know, there's people in America that do that drink, you know, they have a cup of not a cup of coffee, but a cup of Coke for dinner. That's their dinner meal, like, part of their meal, you know. And being in that state of, like, consuming sugar, it's not healthy. And I've noticed it a lot more from cutting it out.
Yeah.
And it sucks just in the sense of, like, when we would do cheat meals before we started this, and we would load up and eat a bunch of sugar, and we would eat, like, ice cream and whatnot. You get, like, a weird feeling. You almost do get a high from eating sugar.
Yeah, it's definitely addicting and fog. But I forgot what I was going to say anyway. I forgot. My brain's gone.
What is your favorite sugar or cheat meal?
I don't know. I wanted to try to get away from sugar completely, because it's really, like, I've taken a break. Sugar. I've taken a break from processed sugar before, and every time you do it, you're like, damn, I wish I could never go back. And it's just the thought of, like, having sugar every once in a while and treating yourself and not being too aggressive on your diet. But, like, there's a difference between us eating sugar, where we think 3 times a week is hard or is a lot, or, like, having a couple cookies on a Saturday once a week is a lot for us, and we try to cut it out completely. It's different from other people who are eating sugar for breakfast and for lunch,
like, the
and
cereals.
for dinner, like cereal or a fucking donut or a sausage McGriddle from McDonald's in the morning. It's bizarre what people put in their body, and then, like, wonder why they're angry, or wonder why they don't sleep well, or wonder why they are snappy. You're literally addicted to sugar, and you're addicted to fake processed things, and you're putting that in your body all the time. Can you imagine how you feel? Like, I always tell people, like, I started personal training, 5 years ago? I always tell people, once I lost weight, you don't just lose weight, your mind becomes more clear.
Yeah.
Like, you are stripping away nasty crap that you've been putting in your body for so long. Like, I can't, like, people, there's like the obesity movement going on.
Oh yeah,
and
like
some people are like the body shaming or like body positive movement.
Yeah, that's what
and my opinion would probably hurt people's feelings. I do not think you should be overweight, huge, unless you have a disease, unless you have some health problem that makes you that way. That crap is unhealthy.
Yeah, I mean,
you're unhealthy if you're fat. Like, that's not.
Yeah.
You're unhealthy if you're fat. And it's not like, oh, I'm fat shaming you. I actually feel sorry for people who are that.
A lot of it's just like they never learned.
Yeah, I mean, it's a learning process because I lost 30 pounds. That's what got me into weightlifting. Losing that 30 pounds was
a chunker.
Just straight fat, first of all, because I came out the same weight that I went in with. But, like, losing all that fat and realizing just so much weight that you've been carrying around, it just opens up your mind a lot clearer. And it also gives you a good relationship with food and a good relationship with health. Because, like, honestly, what I'm striving for right now is being, like, the lightest, clearest version of myself. And that goes back to, like, working on my energy, meditation, seeing what goes in my body. Like, have you ever felt, when you're dragging and when you're lagging? And I feel like some people don't know that. And that's what I feel sad about. Like, like when we had sugar, how, like, heavy we felt and how foggy we felt. Some people feel like that all the time.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad. I'm like, there's so much inspiration. There's so much more that you can be connected to within your body once you have a good relationship with food and working out and moving. Because it all just,
it's all connected.
Makes you human.
And I feel like one thing that helped me, like, cut sugars, and so, like, I always had the habit of, like, if I was on a break or if I was bored, I would snack or I have a sweet tooth. So the rule I changed was whenever I get that urge to eat, allow myself to eat, but I only eat fruit. So I could eat like 3-4 apples a day sometimes, or I eat homemade popcorn where we buy the kernels. We pop it in our popper, like one of those things, and it pops it. And then I put olive oil and I was about to say peanut butter, olive oil and salt on it. So, like, I think the first thing people get intimidated by these diets because they're like, oh, I'm going to cut back my food intake. Instead of cutting it back, just change the food you're eating first. Like, eat as much. Like, if you're eating shitty food, eat as much. Like, allow yourself to eat as much healthy food. And I feel like that switch into just changing, hey, instead of eating processed snacks, eat just a limited amount of fruit that you allow your body to eat it. And then even, like, you can make really good homemade gelato, like, just by putting frozen fruit and milk in the thing. It's really good.
I just feel like people, like, the whole diet culture is so bizarre.
Yeah, you have to start somewhere.
I get so angry sometimes on social media when people are like, here's what I eat in a day, because what I eat in a day is so toxic in my opinion.
What was that one actor? That one actor is like, I eat bone broth. The one that, I forget her name. Gwyneth something.
But there's just a lot of unlearning, and it's not our fault. Like, I literally, like, sorry, Mom. When I stopped eating fried chicken, my mom was like, what are you doing? You don't want to eat fried chicken anymore? You don't want to eat leftovers? Like,
okay,
vegetable oil. Vegetable oil. I wouldn't eat vegetable
leftovers.
I wouldn't eat vegetable oil after I started looking at it because I was in a state of I got aware of what I was eating. People are not aware. People go in people's houses, get a bag of Doritos, and just go about their day. That is like you start to unlearn ways and habits that you've been dealing with for a very long time. And once you start doing that, you realize how bad our food is, how bad everything is that you're putting in your body. And I hate when people are like, oh, only rich people can eat organic, or only what. There's so many ways to
I mean,
go easy on food.
Rice is cheap, popcorn's cheap, and those chicken breasts relatively cheap compared to other meats. It's actually not that expensive if you eat simple. Rice, chicken, and then I guess maybe I just grew up with a mom that was good at cooking, so I just watched her cook.
You don't have to calorie count to
Yeah.
be like your favorite influencer.
No.
You don't have to eat exactly as other people are eating. You don't have to. You know what's funny?
Just switch
I used to.
all the bad stuff you're doing and switch it with good stuff and allow yourself to eat. Just start with that. Switch the good stuff switch the bad stuff with good stuff and allow yourself to eat as much of it as you want. And I feel like that's the first step. Just getting the bad stuff out of your diet. Because processed sugar, why do we have to take something that's already sweet and put chemicals in it to make it more sweet?
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. But also the one thing that we found by like kind of looking at the ingredients, some stuff has sugar not on the nutrition facts. Like, it won't have, like, it's supposed to, under the carbs, it's supposed to have sugar. Sometimes they'll have no sugar, but then if you look in the ingredients, it'll be one of the ingredients. I'm like, wait, aren't you supposed to put that on the nutrition facts as well? I guess not. It's mayonnaise. We're like, wait, this mayonnaise, it says 0 sugars on the nutrition facts, but when you go into the ingredients, sugar is one of them. So I don't know if that's a loophole in the system somehow. Maybe comment below if you know why our foods can do that. Because it makes no sense. 0 on the nutrition facts, but then it's clearly an ingredient listed. Makes no sense. Now, the only thing that we have going, honestly, I did not see the love of running. We just kind of naturally hit that. But the last subject is rejection. Lexi, I know you said before this you had nothing about rejection, but I brought it up just in case if you thought of why you said it, you put it on the list of things to talk about.
Nah. We can go over it next time.
You want to have like a better, I guess, not argument, but a better thought process. But,
yeah.
Yeah, this podcast was kind of thrown together. We're going to try to do another one this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tuesday. We did 2 in 1 week 2 weeks ago, and I felt like it was really good in getting clips out more to select from. And today, it's kind of in the middle of the day. We're doing this at 4 p.m., 3 p.m. Knocked it out. We have a storm coming before maybe we lose power. Any final thoughts?
See ya.